Have you ever seen a car and just kept staring at it, wondering why you've never seen one? We're talking about those special rides that only a lucky few get to own. From unique custom builds to limited edition wonders, these cars are like treasure chests on wheels. Speaking of treasure chests, here are some of the coolest and hardest to find cars out there. Starting our list is Ford Super Chief. Back in the mid-2000s, Ford had some big ideas for their F-Series trucks, especially with the Super Chief concept. This truck was ahead of its time, boasting a cool feature called Tri-Flex Fuel. What's that? Well, it meant the truck could run on gas, bioethanol, or even hydrogen. Imagine that, switching between fuels like a superhero changing outfits. The Super Chief wasn't just for show, it actually worked, with a powerful 6.8L V10 engine. It could zip around with 310 horsepower on gas or biofuel and 280 horsepower on hydrogen. Plus, when it ran on hydrogen, it was super clean, emitting way less carbon dioxide. Ford was all hyped up to bring this tech to the masses, aiming to make 250,000 biofuel vehicles in no time. But then, bam! The 2008 financial crisis hit, and like a sudden storm, it wrecked a lot of plans. Sadly, Ford had to hit the brakes on their cool Tri-Flex Fuel dreams, just like many other companies had to ditch their fancy projects. Tough times indeed. Next on Venturi 400 GT. The Venturi brand, known for electric cars today, had a different start back in 1984. It was all about fast sports cars then, with turbocharged engines and lots of fiberglass. They even made a special racing car called the 400 Trophy, selling just a few to rich folks who wanted to race. There were only 86 of these cars ever made, so spotting one is like finding a rare gem. Even Jeremy Clarkson, the famous car guy, had good things to say about it in the 1990s. He loved the interior and how it was handled. But later on, when Clarkson revisited the Venturi, he wasn't so kind. He called it rubbish on his revamped show. Still, seeing one of these cars roaring around a track in recent years is pretty cool. Imagine a car from the 1990s still flexing its muscle today. Now, this next car was made for kings and queens, but ironically, none of them actually bought one. Bugatti Type 41 Royale. Even though King Alfonso of Spain wanted to, he passed away before he could. Another king, Zog of Albania, was denied because of his bad manners. Only 6 of these cars were ever made, and 5 are now in museums. The 1931 Bugatti Royale was super special, with only 6 ever built. They were meant to cost a whopping $30,000 each, but the Great Depression ruined those plans. These cars had huge engines, one of the biggest ever made for a car, in fact. Today, you can spot some of these rare Bugattis in museums or owned by car enthusiasts around the world. Back in the day, BMW came up with a wild idea, an off-road convertible called the BMW Z18. This car was like nothing else they'd made before. Picture a Z3 Roadster with a lift kit and all-wheel drive, ready to tackle any terrain. They even made the interior waterproof so you could hose it down after a muddy adventure. BMW said this car could even cross water, although they didn't say how deep it could go. It was designed by a special team within BMW called Technic, known for their innovative ideas. Sadly, the Z18 never made it to production. It was just too niche. But some of its features did inspire the X5, especially its powerful V8 engine. While other brands have toyed with the idea of convertible SUVs, none have really taken off. BMW probably made the right call in keeping the Z18 as a cool one-off concept for die-hard fans to drool over. This next car was meant to take on Porsche and Mercedes in racing. So, what did they do? They built the 1996 Ferrari F50 GT. However, the project got axed because their rivals were too tough to beat. Only 3 of these special cars were ever made. 1 was a test model, and 2 were sold to buyers. Even though it has never raced, the Ferrari F50 GT is still a hit with car lovers. All 3 cars are in the hands of enthusiasts now. Rumor has it that one of them has been souped up to pump out over 950 horsepower. Next, we have 1948 to 1951 Talbot Lago T26 Grand Sport. The Talbot Lago Grand Sport from after World War II was a legend. Not only was it super fast and luxurious, but it was also incredibly rare, with just 12 ever made. This car packed a punch with its 4.5-liter six-cylinder engine, churning out 190 horsepower, making it one of the strongest cars of its time. To add to its fame, it even won the 1950 Le Mans 24-hour race, driven by Louis Rosier. Nowadays, one of these beauties is showcased at the Simeone Foundation Automotive Museum, while the rest are tucked away in the collections of lucky car enthusiasts. For this next car, there are only 12 of these retired race cars left. Yup, you heard that right. I'm talking about the 1970 Porsche 917K. One of the most well-known ones was a Gulf-liveried Porsche 917K that David Hobbs and Mike Hailwood drove in the 1970 24 Hours of Le Mans. It hit the auction block last summer with a starting bid of $16 million, but surprisingly, it hasn't found a buyer yet. 1954 Packard Panther Daytona Roadster. Packard only made 4 of these cool two-seater roadsters. Originally, they wanted to call it the Grey Wolf 2, but they went with Panther instead, to honor their racing history. The body of this car is pretty unique. It's all one piece and made completely out of fiberglass. Under the hood, there's a powerful inline 8 engine pumping out 212 horsepower, paired with a 2-speed automatic transmission. This combo could push the car to a speedy 131 miles per hour. In 2013, one of these Panthers was sold at a Barrett-Jackson auction for a hefty $825,000 to a lucky private buyer. Porsche 911 GT1 straw inversion. The Porsche 911 GT1 straw inversion is like the street-legal version of the Porsche 911 GT1 race car. They didn't make many, just enough to meet the rules for racing in the GT1 class. This car has a special look, mixing parts from the 911 and the 962 race car, with its wide body, low shape, and big rear wing. Under the hood, it's got a strong 3.2-liter flat-six engine, pumping out 544 horsepower and 443 pound-foot of torque. It's super quick, too, going from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 3.7 seconds, thanks to its powerful engine. And light build. Plus, it comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox that sends power to the back wheels. This Porsche is all about performance, with its smart aerodynamics, lightweight build, and suspension tuned for the track. It's a rare gem that collectors really love, blending high-performance engineering with Porsche's racing history. Finally, we have Maserati Birdcage 75 Thi Pininfarina. The Maserati Birdcage 75 Thi Pininfarina is one cool concept car from the last 20 years. It was made to celebrate Pininfarina's 75th birthday, with help from Motorola. They use fancy 3D tech to design it super fast in just 2 months. This car is based on the MSE12 chassis and borrows its powerful 6.0 LV12 engine from the MC12 G-Tone. With 700 horsepower going to the rear wheels, it's a beast. Plus, it's got a neat one-piece canopy inspired by an old Ferrari concept, so there are no doors, you just lift the roof to get in and out. The Birdcage won a bunch of awards for its cool design, like the Best Concept Award at the 2005 Geneva Motor Show. It's definitely a head-turner. Thanks for watching our video about some of the most fascinating concepts and rare cars in automotive history. From the Maserati Birdcage to the Porsche 911 GT1 straw inversion, these cars are truly remarkable. Now, here's a question for you. If you could own any of these rare cars, which one would you choose and why? Don't forget to leave your answer in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more intriguing automotive content. Until next time, drive safe and keep dreaming big.